The sun rises. It casts long shadows across canyons of glass and steel. The city awakens, and with it, the relentless pulse of commerce and ambition. This is the financial district, a place that hums with the heartbeat of the global economy. Here, fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. The streets are filled with people chasing dreams, some finding success, others facing despair. But behind the gleaming facades and the confident smiles, something lurks. Beneath the surface, there are stories untold, secrets hidden in the shadows of towering buildings. It's a system riddled with hidden dangers, a labyrinth of power and influence where the stakes are high and the consequences can be devastating. A system that often benefits the few at the expense of the many. The wealthy and powerful navigate this world with ease, while the rest struggle to keep up. Welcome to the world of high finance, a world where deals are made in hushed tones and fortunes are decided in seconds. This isn't just about numbers on a screen, it's about people. Real lives are affected by the decisions made in these glass towers. Your friends, your family, your neighbors. The ripple effects of financial decisions reach far and wide, touching every corner of society. When the financial system goes haywire, it's their lives that get turned upside down. The stress and uncertainty can be overwhelming, leading to sleepless nights and anxious days. Their jobs, their homes, their futures, all hanging in the balance. The impact is profound, affecting not just individuals but entire communities. We need to understand this system, to see the patterns in the players, to grasp the complexities that drive the market. We need to see it for what it is. Only by understanding can we begin to navigate and perhaps even change it, because only then can we hope to change. Change starts with awareness, and awareness starts with seeing the truth behind the facade. Finance can seem complicated. It's designed that way. Wall Street loves jargon. Terms like derivatives, hedge funds, and quantitative easing are thrown around to create an aura of complexity. This language isn't just for show, it's a barrier. It makes them sound smart, and it keeps the rest of us in the dark. The more complex it seems, the more we feel we need experts to navigate it. This complexity creates a dependency, but at its heart, finance is pretty simple. Strip away the jargon and it's about basic principles. It's about understanding how money flows and grows. It's about the fundamentals of earning, saving, and investing. It's about moving money around. Whether it's digital transfers, cash transactions, or bank dealings, the core idea remains the same. Money needs to move to create value. From people who have it to people who need it, or at least claim they do. This movement is the lifeblood of the economy. Loans, investments, and transactions all hinge on this principle. Banks take your deposits and lend them out at a profit. They act as intermediaries, ensuring that money is available where it's needed most. But they also make sure they get their cut. Investors put money into companies hoping for a return. They take risks, betting on the success of businesses. If the companies do well, investors profit. If not, they lose. It all seems like a harmless game, money changing hands. But here's the catch. This game has winners and losers, and the stakes are high. This isn't a level playing field. The rules are rigged. The system favors those who already have wealth and knowledge. The average person is often left at a disadvantage. And the referees? Well, let's just say they spend a lot of time hanging out with the home team. Regulators and financial institutions often have close ties, making impartial oversight challenging. This cozy relationship can lead to decisions that benefit the few at the expense of the many. One of the scariest things about the financial system is its ability to create bubbles. These happen when too much money floods into a particular asset. Think housing in the early 2000s, prices skyrocket, everyone's feeling rich. But it's all based on hot air, and when the bubble bursts, it's like a bomb going off. Remember those subprime mortgages? Loans given to people who couldn't afford them? Yeah, that was part of it. Banks bundled these risky loans together and sold them off as investments. They got rich, and when it all came crashing down, well, you probably remember that part. Here's a dirty little secret about the financial world. It's full of loopholes. And guess who gets to exploit them? The big players, the ones with the fancy suits and the even fancier lawyers. They know how to bend the rules without breaking them. Or at least without getting caught. Insider trading is a classic example. Someone with inside information about a company uses it to make a killing on the stock market. It's illegal, sure, but it happens all the time. And when these guys get caught, a slap on the wrist, a fine that's a rounding error for them. The system protects its own. Section 5. The real cost of Wall Street's casino. We can't forget the human cost of financial recklessness. When these bubbles burst, it's not the bankers who suffer. It's ordinary people. People who lose their jobs, their homes, their savings. People who played by the rules but still got screwed. Communities are devastated. Businesses shutter. The ripple effects spread far and wide. And for what? So a few hedge fund managers could buy another yacht? It's enough to make you sick. Section 6, 2008, Never Forget, Never Forgive. The 2008 financial crisis was a wake-up call. It was a moment in history that shook the very foundations of the global economy. The world watched in horror as markets plummeted and the financial systems we trusted crumbled before our eyes. A stark reminder of what happens when greed and recklessness are allowed to run rampant. Millions lost their jobs. Families who had worked hard their entire lives found themselves standing in unemployment lines, searching desperately for any opportunity to make ends meet. Homes were foreclosed on at an alarming rate. Entire neighborhoods were left desolate, with eviction notices plastered on doors and families forced to move out with nowhere to go. The American dream turned into a nightmare for countless individuals. The global economy teetered on the brink of collapse. Businesses shuttered their doors, and once bustling office spaces became ghost towns. The ripple effects were felt worldwide, as economies interconnected by globalization suffered in unison. And who bailed out the banks that caused this mess? The taxpayers, of course. Governments around the world stepped in with massive bailouts, using public funds to rescue private institutions that had gambled recklessly with our money. The very people who were hurt the most by their actions, ordinary citizens who had no part in the decisions that led to the crisis, found themselves bearing the brunt of the consequences. Food banks saw unprecedented demand, and financial distress became a common theme in households everywhere. It was a classic case of privatizing the profits and socializing the losses. While the general public struggled to recover, those at the top continued to enjoy their luxurious lifestyles, seemingly untouched by the chaos they had caused. And to add insult to injury, many of the people responsible for the crisis walked away with their fortunes intact. They received bonuses and golden parachutes, a stark contrast to the suffering of the masses. This chapter in history serves as a powerful reminder: never forget, never forgive. Section 7. Reining in the runaway train towards a fairer system. So what can we do about it? How do we fix this broken system? It won't be easy. But it has to start with holding those in power accountable. We need stricter regulations, tougher penalties for white-collar crime, and an end to the culture of impunity on Wall Street. We also need to empower ordinary people. Give them the tools and the knowledge to navigate this complex world. Financial literacy is key. We need to start teaching our kids about money in school, and we need to demand transparency from our elected officials. Section 8. It's your money, your future, your fight. This isn't just about economics, it's about fairness, it's about justice. It's about reclaiming our democracy from the grip of corporate greed. We can't afford to be silent anymore. We need to speak out, we need to organize, we need to demand change. Write to your representatives, support organizations fighting for financial reform, talk to your friends and family. This affects all of us, and we can't afford to be bystanders any longer. Section 9. Epilogue, a note of hope, or is it delusion? The fight for a fairer financial system won't be easy. The forces arrayed against us are powerful, but we can't give up hope. We've overcome seemingly insurmountable odds before, and we can do it again. The future is not yet written. It's up to us to decide what it looks like. Let's make sure it's one where everyone has a fair shot.